have a court hearing coming up at Plantation Key Courthouse in Monroe County, Florida? If so, that court hearing, like any court hearing, can be the cause of anxiety and worry and concern. Now, of course, the bulk of that concern and worry may and probably does have to do with the subject matter of the hearing, why exactly you're there and what you're going to be doing. But I have found over time that people can also feel anxiety over how to get to the courthouse, where to park, where to go once you're inside the building, or hell, even how to find the building. This video is intended to minimize the anxiety over things that really shouldn't be the cause of any worry at all, which is navigating to the Plantation Key Courthouse. Hello, my name is Alan Fowler. I am the founding attorney and owner of Key West Criminal Defense, and we practice all throughout the Florida Keys, including the Upper Keys area. Now, the Upper Keys Courthouse is in an area known as Plantation Key. As you can see from the screen here, this is the address for Plantation Key Courthouse. It is located in the Plantation Key Government Center, which is a collection of buildings and offices that does business on behalf of Monroe County, particularly in the Upper Keys. And you see the address is on US 1, which is also known as the Overseas Highway. Now, this is an image of approaching the courthouse side street if you are going southbound on US 1. Now, as you can see on the right, there's a pizza restaurant, which, by the way, I've always wanted to try but never have. But nonetheless, when you see this pizza restaurant, you're going to know that you're close, because where that police car is where you're going to be turning. And if you look behind that police car and the telephone pole and stop sign, there's a placard like this. And as you can tell from the prior image, it can really sneak up on you, and I oftentimes miss it and have to turn around and come back, so don't make that same mistake. But you'll see this placard here that directs you to the Monroe County Government Center, which has a number of offices like the property appraiser and the clerk of the court, and then of course, as you can see from the top left, the courthouse. It also directs you to the sheriff's office more prominently, but where we're going is the courthouse. So when you make this right-hand turn, right where that patrol car is, or left-hand turn if you're coming in the opposite direction, you're going to be facing down this side street. Now, you're in the right place, so if you see this, don't be worried that you took a wrong turn or confused. You'll notice that there's not much signage once you turn down this street. Now, on the right-hand side, there's an apartment complex that has restricted parking, so please don't park there. Instead, we're going to turn left just past those two newspaper bins that you see. One's red and one's white there on the left side of your screen. We're going to turn left into there. And as you can see, the entry point into this parking lot has a number of buildings. Now, almost all of the parking in this parking lot is unrestricted. I'll point out a few other areas in a moment. But unless there's a sign or otherwise that indicates that you can't park there, then you're free to park anywhere. And I've never really had much difficulty finding parking, even on the busiest of court days. Here's a closer shot of the parking lot. Again, there's plenty of parking. Now, if you look in the center of your screen, there's a white pickup truck all the way in the background in front of a building. That is a parking garage back there, and seemingly it's for the personnel who work in the courthouse and the other government buildings, because you have to have a pass to get in. So if you turn into there, you're not going to be able to enter the garage. You'll have to back on out of there. But otherwise, there's plenty of parking, as I mentioned a few times. Now, this is a collection of buildings to the left of the courthouse. That is not the courthouse, as you will be able to see from the signage, so please don't navigate there. And over here, I included this because this is the old Plantation Key Courthouse. A few months ago, they opened up a new courthouse, which is really quite nice, incidentally, but this is the old courthouse. So if you ever had any business in the Plantation Key Courthouse in the past, whether it was a criminal matter or anything at all, this is where you would have gone. And by the way, it's a major upgrade. Hopefully you would be able to tell from this building, at least at the time of this recording of this video that this is not open. As you can tell, the windows are shuttered with hurricane shutters. It's been painted over. There's virtually no signage. There's a dumpster on the right-hand side of the building. So this is not where you want to go, but please, if you've had business before, don't make the mistake of strolling over here. Instead, you want to go over here, which, as you can see, this building is clearly labeled as the Monroe County Courthouse. Now, at the time of this recording, the maintenance crew was doing some work on the front doors. You can see that they're propped open. Just like any other courthouse in America, when you enter through the front doors, you're immediately going to have a security checkpoint with a metal detector. So, of course, you're going to navigate through there. And then, if you are going to Judge Hamilton's courtroom, she is on the second floor. Likewise, if you're going to Judge Garcia's courtroom, his courtroom is also on the second floor. So, once you navigate this metal detector and security checkpoint, you'll see a set of elevators on your left, and you can just navigate the elevators up to the second floor. If you're still not sure where exactly to go, don't hesitate to ask the deputy sheriffs who are working the metal detector. They're happy to give you directions, and they don't want you to get lost. So feel free to utilize them, but again, all you really need to do is go to the second floor and then find the correct courtroom. Now, once you enter the courtroom, I figured I'd share a little information about where to go and where to sit and how things kind of look, in case you've never been in court before. So this is an image of Judge Hamilton's courtroom. Judge Garcia's courtroom is basically identical for the most part. As you can see, front and center, you have Judge Hamilton. This is the middle of a court hearing. I snapped this photo really quick. To her left, which would be our right, you see two women that are sitting down. They're both wearing black sweaters. Those individuals work for the clerk of the court, and what they're doing is they're taking notes and filling out other forms, such as the court minutes and court orders and what have you. And then in the back left corner, you see a deputy sheriff who is one of the bailiffs for the courtrooms. There were no inmates at the time of this photo, but if there were, the bailiffs would be, for the most part, escorting the inmates in and out of the courtroom. And then beyond that, when there are no inmates, they're just more or less standing by to keep good order and decorum in the courtroom. Now, you see right in the foreground of this photo, there's sort of a half wall that's maybe about 3 feet high. There's a power outlet right there and an iPad sitting on top, and then a bunch of people wearing suits on the inside. As you may suspect, that is really the where the real business happens in a courtroom. You're going to have a table to the left and to the right, which is where the respective parties sit, and there's a podium in the middle. All of these people wearing suits, of course, are attorneys, prosecutors and defense lawyers, as this was a criminal hearing. So what you should do when you come in is just have a seat in one of the benches that is inside the courtroom. If you are meeting a member from our law firm, we usually meet our clients outside the courtroom, either outside the building or just in the foyer in the hallways of the courtroom area. If you're meeting some other attorney, just feel free to come in and have a seat. It's very common for lawyers to be sort of searching around looking for their clients, and so your lawyer may walk up and say, "Hey, I'm your lawyer, how's it going?" Or the lawyer may be running late and you'll just have to kind of stand by. But nonetheless, just have a seat and be quiet. Now, of course, be mindful of what's appropriate for being in a courtroom. So if you have a cell phone on you, then either silence it or put it on vibrate or even turn it off. And make sure you're dressed appropriately for court as well. And then keep your voice down. It's okay to whisper to someone if you're there with a significant other or a supporter. It's okay to talk quietly. As you can see from this photo, there are attorneys sitting around talking to each other. So it's certainly okay so long as you're not too boisterous and disruptive, in which case the bailiff would probably come over and tell you to be quiet. If for some reason you're waiting around and the judge calls your case and your lawyer is not there, then you should stand up and walk towards this half wall. There will be a little gate swinging door for you to go through, and then announce yourself and just say, "Hi, I'm so-and-so, I'm here, but I don't see my lawyer." I've seen that sort of thing play out. and it's never a bad thing to tell the judge that you're in court and you're in court on time. In that scenario, the judge would basically ask someone to try to get a hold of your attorney or see what's going on. But don't feel shy about announcing yourself, and also don't worry that the judge is going to try to expect you to speak on your own behalf. Instead, the judge will just pass your case, like I said, and try to get your lawyer's whereabouts known. So that's it. If you have a criminal matter or know someone who has a criminal matter and need assistance, we'll be happy to provide a complimentary consultation and case strategy session. You can visit us at the contact information that's on your screen.